Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you'll meet the co-founder of a local nonprofit that's been spreading the good news for 25 years. Her remarkable journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
I am a proud Catholic, and I have discovered we have such a vibrant Catholic community in North Texas that I'm always running into people with amazing stories, and my next guest has just such a story. Monica Ashour, she's with TOBET. Thanks for coming on the show.
Glad to be here, Jeff. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, it's a long phrase that describes TOBET. Why don't you explain what it is?
Yes, it is called the Theology of the Body Evangelization Team. And TOBET is the acronym. Theology of the Body is this wonderful teaching that my team and I are trying to promote, and we're now worldwide.
Wow.
And so I'm very excited about that.
That's amazing. Okay, tell me about the very early days. It's 25 years old, and you're the co-founder. How did you come up with this?
Ooh, that is a long story. You probably know from founding things, like there's a lot of like, how should we do it this way? And so,
Right.
so the co-founders are about 9 of us, and we were captivated by the Theology of the Body, which is, actually it's by Pope John Paul.
Okay.
But I don't want people to think it's only Catholic, because if you have a body, Theology of the Body is for you.
Yes.
In other words, it's just about the truth of the human person. And yes, made in God's image and likeness, but the idea of the Theology of the Body being this revolutionary way for all people to understand that they are made for love. And that's pretty much the bottom line, that we're all made for love.
That's beautiful. We're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll down the website, talk about how the organization has grown over the years.
Wow. We started just like, my talks were like $150, and we thought that was a lot. And now I go worldwide. I've been to the Philippines, I've been to Australia. My team has grown because we knew we needed to reach higher and farther. And so one of the things that my, really, she's a COO, her name is Emily Flores, and she's helped to keep TOBET like on the up and up.
Sure.
And of course, donors are crucial with regard to this, but we founders, we were so captivated by Theology of the Body. I already had one of my master's degrees in theology, and I'm like, why didn't I hear about this? And it just captivated us so much, Jeff. We're like, we got to start spreading this news, and we founded TOBET.
Outstanding. You guys produced an amazing video. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
We live in a culture that fights aggressively against the family and against the truth of the body, and is therefore against the truth of the gospel. But there's hope in Jesus Christ. St. John Paul has given us the gift of the theology of the body for such a time as this. The theology of the body is rooted in the Bible, and it brings forth the light of Christ Jesus to our world today. TOBET's mission is to renew and sanctify the family and the culture through educational resources used worldwide. We have reached hundreds of thousands of people since our founding in 2001. Our books, programs, talks, and seminars offer hope and healing to a world that is desperately in need. What is more necessary and worthwhile than overcoming the harmful messages that target the most vulnerable among us? Join us in the fight for our children's future at TOBET.org.
Wow. Well, you've touched so many lives around the globe over the last 25 years. What's one of your favorite stories?
Well, I think it's when I give presentations. Sometimes the crowd is 30, sometimes it's 800. But what they're captivated is like, they didn't know that Christianity is so impacted by the body. And so I'll say things like, how do you know that you're human? How do you know when you're hungry? How do you know when you're thirsty? How do you know all of these things? And you know what the answer is? The body.
Right.
And so it's like we skip over the body. So that's why my team and I who wrote this book is called The Body Teaches Many Lesson. And Jeff, it's for like first graders.
Yes.
Because we've forgotten that the body matters.
Yes.
And yes, that's a Christian way of saying it, but this is for everybody. Like, this is a crucial book for second graders. The body is a gift. And so one story I remember is one of my friends gave my books to one of her sons. And her son, when he found out, oh, I'm a gift, if with my hands I take the plate and I put it into the kitchen, then he said, Mommy, I'm a gift. And the mom said, yes, and I'm a gift too by receiving your gift. So it's just by starting with the concrete, the visible body, and letting us know where we're all gifts. That, in my mind, is like revolutionary, even though it's like the nose on your face. In fact, it is the nose on your face that we forget, because the body does matter.
Well, I love the way your eyes glow when you talk about this. Let's go through some of the other books. What are the other titles that you brought?
Well, I love this one. This is for 6th grade. And I love this one in particular. It's Every Body Reveals God. And what this does is it unveils for children, we made sure we got really good illustrations, that when you and I are gifts, then we image God the most. So if you think about this, my body right now is directed toward the viewer's body. And so with my body, with my vocal cords, I'm giving gift to self to them by giving. And then you who are listening and watching, you are being a gift by receiving, and then being excited, laughing at my jokes, and then we're bonded together more. So all love is giving, all love is receiving, and all love bonds us together more. It's like fruitful. And that, Jeff, is how we're made in God's image and likeness the most, when we love. But we, who are embodied persons, we can only love through our bodies. And by loving, we find our deepest identity, particularly in Christ. But for those who are not Christian, like just when we love is really the way we're made in God's image and likeness.
Well, let's keep going. What other books did you bring?
Gosh. Okay, this is for 7th graders. And it's called Our Bodies Made Male and Female. And again, like we talk about, like, how do you know you're human? How do you know we're thirsty and whatever?
Yes.
Well, we could say this. How do you know you're a boy? And then the answer is boy body. How do you know you're a girl? Girl body. We don't need to get into the nitty-gritty things. And so it just helps children to understand, oh, I cannot skip over the body with regard to who I am. And then for us who are Christians, like if I might add, with the Son becoming human, Jesus Christ, with the body, why would we skip over the body? And so sometimes when I give talks to people and I'll say, how did Christianity begin? Why, and where did Christianity begin? And what's the center of Christianity? The answer is the body. And they're like, mind blown. Why? It's because how did it begin? The second person of the Blessed Trinity began with a tiny baby fetus body. Where did Christianity begin? In the womb of a woman. And God thinks so highly of femininity. That's where Christianity began. And then, of course, the body is the center because the Word was made flesh and continues to dwell among us.
And you have some glossy books.
Yes.
And you guys have your own publishing company, right?
Yeah, we have TOBET Press, and so this is for 2nd grade, like Lizzie's Greatest Gift. And this one I love because secretly, this is my special needs nephew, Nicky. He said, Aunt Monty, will you please give me a red shirt? And he discovers through his body that he shouldn't overeat, and he can remember that he's meant to sleep when his body tells him that, and then he wakes up from a dream. And anyway, this is a way, I think, in unveiling for children, like their body really does matter.
Yes. And I know you're terribly proud of your team. We're going to pull up your team page, and as we scroll down, you don't have to identify all of them, but tell us about the kinds of people and talent you're attracting.
Yeah, and so I'd like to start with Kathleen Twetton, who really tries to connect with the community. Michelle Stavins, she is pretty recent, but she found out about TOBET's mission, which is basically to spread the theology body, and she's like, amazing. This young man, Michael Ashour, he's actually my nephew.
Nice.
But actually there's not too much nepotism there because he's amazing. Chris Tarantino is added. And then I want to get to content because Gabriel Milano, I've been the content creation director for 25 years. And just 2 weeks ago, I'm like, Gabriel, I trust you. Wow. So now he is. This guy, Matthew Turner, he's from England. He would kill me if I tried to teach a foreign accent. And then others, they're just like huge with regard to making TOBET come alive.
Outstanding.
And spreading this message of hope.
Well, I know you're a nonprofit and you probably survive on donations. So if somebody is drawn to you through this broadcast, how can they get involved?
Yeah, so I think the best thing is go to TOBET.org, TOBET.org. And now that they know I'm the president and CEO, they could find me online. And I would love to meet with them, because when I have even more money, because, by the way, our Protestant brothers and sisters are the main ones donating to TOBET now. They're like, Theology of the Body, that's a biblical reflection. We also have the Bible.
Right.
And so they've been donating to TOBET. And so I would love the opportunity to tell about the mission, because we know in this culture that so many things are going against the truth of the body and therefore the truth of Christianity. And so I would say anybody who sees this, is interested, I'd love to meet with you and be able to chat with you about our mission. And let's see what happens.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with the website, which again is TOBET.org. Monica Ashour, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. I enjoyed it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.